welcome. You are watching the Policy Times evening show Unleashing India Web Summit series. This is a special show for national reincarnation. The entire world is at standstill, and we are looking for a real change, a real turnover. The moment the COVID crisis is over, not only the geopolitics of the world will change, but also the way we behave, the way we live, the way we talk to each other, the way nations function, the way international geopolitics will function, everything will change. And I think one of the massive changes that will also take place will be the re-emergence of electric vehicle. I will not go deep into the subject. Our Indian government has also come up with a vision of making India a completely uh, electric vehicle friendly country, and India is aggressively working towards that. India being one of the largest country in the world, we have huge or tremendous scope of business. Already electric battery vehicle has made a huge impact the way Indian transport functions, and it has led to a drastic reduction in the amount of carbon and pollution in the air. But a lot more to offer. And when we are talking that, I think there cannot be a better panel than three eminent experts from three different countries. I will not introduce them. The chair of the show, Dr. P. Shekhar, who is chairman of Global Smart City Panel and a real architect of the doctrine called secured governance. And he has written around 80 books on different perspective about bringing just one change, that is how all those changes or all those reforms can lead to national growth or nation building, or now we are terming them or coining them as national reincarnation. Without taking any more time, may I request and welcome Dr. P. Shekhar to kindly take over the session and lead the discussion. Dr. Shekhar, over to you.
Thank you, Akram. Electric vehicle, of course, needs no introduction. The panel we have got is, like Akram said, is from a multi-country, multi-dimensional, multi-experience, and of a great significance for this particular sector. Electric vehicles had started long ago, but it had been on and off. We are all used to electric trains even 70, 80 years back. But many of these things had to close for various reasons. Now it is coming with a big bang. When it comes with a big bang, we also need speakers with a big bang. That's why we have got speakers of that magnitude here. And just to give you a little preview of electric vehicles, let me just show you why this is needed and how it will create that type of impact that it has to create. Now, India has got the largest length of roads. It's almost 5.8 million kilometers. India itself is the second largest country in terms of population, but in terms of road length, it is between 1 and 2. So it is ahead of others. And when such a long length of road is there, obviously vehicles have to be of a same magnitude. We already have more than 260 million, which is one of the highest. There we are not the highest. It is one of the highest in the world. And every year we make a lot of vehicles. And we are also proud to say that almost 5 million vehicles are exported from India. So it is a proud combination of something which is economically good, which employs a huge number, almost about 70, 80 million people get into vehicles and in various facets of vehicle. But when we talk of electric vehicles, the fear comes whether, you know, the whole employment will go, whether it'll just be something which will be an unknown fears, like will we have all automated vehicles, so all the drivers will be out on streets, or will it be vehicles which doesn't need any servicing, any maintenance, and any this thing. These are all wrong perceptions. In fact, it is going to employ more people. It is going to bring bigger economic prosperity. Even when we say when a road is built, it always creates all values around the road. So when the road is built and when traffic goes on top of the road, it brings the biggest prosperity. Any place which is today highest rated place has got highest number of vehicles. So even when we say many vehicles, The idea is we are all frustrated when we get in traffic jam, whether in Bombay or New York or Washington or any place. But that shows prosperity. Only when there's prosperity, there will be more vehicles. Only when there's prosperity, there'll be more people who can afford to go by vehicles. There are certain fears that, once Ola, Uber type people come, people will not use vehicles. They are all, 2%, 3% changes. And vehicle is one of those industries where 1%, 2% changes can create create a traffic jam or create a free road. So with that purview, I will just, show this only. I will not talk about much of it. Electric vehicles have started way back in 1838. And then today, whatever we are. And the India in the global demand for electric vehicles is of immense magnitude. Since I got so many others talking, I'll just show this and then go over to my esteemed experts. Now, I'll start off this particular discussion with our number one, Ranga. He is Ranga Ramanujam. He is an Italian person, the Italian passport, Italian. He has been in Italy for last more than 18 years. And also he is an EU expert in various ways. He has taken over a company in Hungary, and he is in multifarious locations. He also may like to give a small video and then give his purview of what he sees is the scope of electric vehicles. What he sees is, this particular question is for all. What he sees is what we all see in today's purview, and what we see will happen post-COVID, and what is their own perception or their own review about electric vehicles post-COVID and for the nation building, and their own. People are free to talk about their own perception, their own commitment, their own achievements. Please feel free to tell the world, because this is something unique all of you have done, and that's why we are whatever we are. Even two of our today's speakers are more from Europe, one from UK and one from Europe, one from Hungary, Italy. But their destination is to set up a very good EU base in India. And third person is already manufacturing and started the manufacturing in India. That is Srikanth. Ranga, please take charge. Volume.
Sir, please unmute.
Yeah. No, I think, yeah.
Yes, sir, you can speak now. You can.
Yeah. Hi, sir. Hi, everyone. Hi, Shekhar and panelist. Warm evening in India. I'm in India, so that because of the COVID crisis. Thanks for inviting me this one. I request Akram to play the video so that we'll let the people know that what is the vehicle, what we are producing in Hungary. So I requested this 1 minute short video to be viewed. Can you, Mr. Akram, can you just play the video?
Yes, sir. I will just play it.
I think it shows everything that what is the electrical vehicle. The bus you are seeing in Hungary, the company which we took over recently, almost around 19 months now, the only bus in the world run already 5 million kilometer on the road. The first bus completed 5 million kilometer on the road. And the bus, whatever you see, the most lightweight bus in the world. Okay, so why I'm just giving, this is going to be the electric vehicle is going to be the largest focus post-COVID era, the post-COVID era. Thanks to Government of India, I think that the minister, Mr. Nitin Gadkari, has mentioned very clearly in last few webinars, which I am following. The entire world, electric vehicle, the India is going to take a central role. So this is a time that we thought that electrical vehicle boom is going to remain much more. You can see that air quality index on every places across the cities, Chennai, Mumbai, Delhi, Hyderabad. I recently watched the air quality index on Agra. It is all coming to a beautiful level. If we want to maintain this air quality index and then the pollution, the only way is to run our vehicle on absolutely green. We have to be absolutely a green vehicle. On that green vehicle, we will be doing an ecosystem of a green vehicle, and the ecosystem of a green vehicle can show the world what India is doing. I just want to tell you, Indian cost of a vehicle is the lowest in the world. It is the lowest in the world. Once we secure the lithium assets, lithium is the battery is the biggest problem today. I think government is working on that directions because they formed a organization called the KABIL, so that the battery, that the entire whatever the lithium required will be secured. So once it is done, I'm very sure that India is going to take a lead on the electrical vehicle. So I just leave it to the panelists so that I'll come back again for any questions.
Thank you, Ganga. Very nice to give that confidence that, electric vehicles are there for future. They are very good from pollution point of view. And we are very, very proud that an Indian has taken over a company in Hungary and of a premium company in Hungary, manufacturing electric vehicles. I'm sure you will to see how you are going to get it manufactured in India and what are the other plans you have, whatever can be said in a public forum. Now, my second panelist is a very, very type of an expert, Shrikant Shinde. He, for last 10 years, is actually involved in manufacturing electric systems, I would say. Electric may not be the buses. He's doing for 2-wheelers, 3-wheelers and all, and doing an excellent job, including exporting his developed products from India. So, Shrikant Shinde. Only thing, Shrikant Shinde will speak a little more in Hindi and less in English, and I'm sure. And he is an excellent speaker. He produces his own video. The beauty portion of Shrikant is that he is creating a range of entrepreneurs, and foreigners are coming to learn from him. Foreigners mean Australians and people from Middle East and all. They're coming to his office, learning, and then going there, keeping the link, and he is doing a fantastic job. And he's in this line for last 10 years, doing some original R&D work, and also, an unknown to all of us, manufacturer in India, exporter from India. Shrikantji. Speaker. Yeah.
नमस्ते. पहले तो थैंक्स कहूंगा शेखर सर को और पैनल को कि जो मुझे बोलने का मौका दिया. 2011 में हमने इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल इंडस्ट्री में काम करना शुरू किया. शुरुआत की थी कंपोनेंट से. उस समय अवेयरनेस इतना नहीं था. सभी इंजीनियरिंग कॉलेजेस, आईआईटीज को कंपोनेंट सप्लाई करके बच्चों को प्रोजेक्ट के लिए कंपोनेंट हम लोग सप्लाई करते थे. उसके बाद में धीरे धीरे इस इंडस्ट्री में हम लोग डीपली वर्क करना शुरू किया. तो कंपोनेंट डेवलपमेंट, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग, देन ओईएम सप्लाई, देन अभी टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर एंड एजुकेशन में भी हमने एंटर किया. गोगो फाउंडेशन के अंदर हम लोग ऑल ओवर इंडिया आज के डेट में इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल के ऊपर प्रैक्टिकल एजुकेशन दे रहे हैं, हैंड्स ऑन ट्रेनिंग्स के लिए, क्योंकि वो प्लेटफॉर्म होना बहुत जरूरी है. थ्योरेटिकल ट्रेनिंग देना एंड प्रैक्टिकल हैंड्स ऑन ट्रेनिंग देना, इसमें बहुत डिफरेंस आ जाता है. एंड मेजरली फोकस जो हमने किया है कि क्योंकि इंडियन मार्केट में यूजर का माइंडसेट, रोड कंडीशंस, अलग अलग एरियाज में टेम्परेचर लेवल्स, इन सभी चीजों का पिछले 10 साल से जब हमें स्टडी करने का मौका मिला एंड रूट लेवल पे, ग्राउंड लेवल पे जब काम करने का मौका मिला, तब हमने कुछ डिसीजंस लास्ट 3 इयर्स में ऐसे लिए कि जहाँ पे सिर्फ हम लोग डिस्कस ना करके प्रैक्टिकली सॉल्यूशंस निकाल के उसके ऊपर काम कैसे कर सकते हैं। जिस तरीके सर ने रंगा सर ने बताया कि बैटरी हैज सम चैलेंजेस, लेकिन वो चैलेंजेस ओवरकम बहुत जल्दी हो रहे हैं कि उसके ऊपर सभी साइंटिस्ट भी काम कर रहे हैं, बहुत बड़े-बड़े मैन्युफैक्चरर्स भी काम कर रहे हैं, गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से भी बहुत बड़ा इनिशिएटिव है। तो ये जब लाइन अप हो रहा है तब तक हम क्या कर सकते हैं, तो तब तक छोटे-छोटे एप्लीकेशंस के ऊपर काम कर सकते हैं। जैसे अभी अप्रूवल्स एंड पॉलिसीज लाइन अप हो रहा है, इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर लाइन अप हो रहा है, देन टेक्नोलॉजीज इंप्रूव हो रही है, तब तक हम क्या कर सकते हैं। तो इसके लिए हमने लास्ट 3 इयर्स में ज्यादा फोकस किया कि जो ऑफ रोड सेगमेंट है, जब ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड हम लोग देखेंगे तो सब लोग फोकस कर रहे हैं कि ऑन रोड चलने वाले व्हीकल्स के ऊपर, लेकिन इसके साथ में आज एक सेगमेंट सबने मिस कर दिया है, वो है ऑफ रोड सेगमेंट। ऑफ रोड सेगमेंट मेरे हिसाब से वो मेन ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्री जो है उससे भी बड़ा है। उसमें क्या-क्या कवर होता है, इंडस्ट्रियल इक्विपमेंट्स, मशीनरीज, कैंपस यूज व्हीकल्स, इवन आज के डेट में ओल्ड एज पीपल्स के लिए एक व्हीकल नहीं है इंडिया के अंदर, कि उनकी रिक्वायरमेंट है, उनको एक स्मॉल एंड लो स्पीड कॉम्पैक्ट व्हीकल बना के दे, फिजिकली चैलेंज पीपल्स के लिए, ट्रेन स्टेशन, एयरपोर्ट्स के लिए, वहां जहाँ पे व्हीकल्स अलाउड नहीं होते वहां पे हम छोटे छोटे व्हीकल्स बना सकते हैं, रिक्रिएशनल व्हीकल्स, मॉल्स के अंदर यूज होने वाले व्हीकल्स। देन बीचेस पे आज 17,000 किलोमीटर का कोस्टल एरिया हमें मिला है, बहुत सारे नंबर ऑफ बीचेस है, तो बीचेस पे यूज होने वाले व्हीकल्स। देन बोट्स जो हम ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्री में कंसिडर नहीं करते हैं, तो बोट्स इलेक्ट्रिकली, एंड वहां पे स्कोप हमें इतना है कि स्पेस का लिमिटेशन नहीं है, तो सोलर पैनल्स बहुत अच्छे तरीके से वहां पे फिट होते हैं, तो चार्जिंग का भी इशू सॉल्व हो जाता है। एंड बीइंग ए फार्मर सन, मेरा फेवरेट है कि एग्रीकल्चर बेस, एंड आज 70% हमें इंडिया में एग्रीकल्चर बेस अवेलेबल है, तो एग्रीकल्चर इक्विपमेंट्स का बहुत बड़ा डिमांड आज की डेट में है। एंड हमने ऑलरेडी एग्रीकल्चर बैटरी ऑपरेटेड एग्रीकल्चर इक्विपमेंट्स बनाना शुरू किया। एंड उसके पहले जो हमने लास्ट 5 इयर्स से जो डेवलपमेंट किया है, तो वो डेवलपमेंट है रेट्रोफिट कन्वर्जन किट्स, क्योंकि एग्जिस्टिंग व्हीकल रेंज का लिमिटेशन, क्योंकि बैटरी टेक्नोलॉजी जब अपग्रेड हो रही है तो बहुत बड़ा बैटरी पैक या फिर उतना कॉस्ट वाला बैटरी पैक मार्केट में जब तक एक्सेप्टेंस उसका आ जाता है, तब तक हम उसको सोल्यूशन दे सकते हैं कि रेट्रोफिट कन्वर्जन में, जिसमें मोटरसाइकिल का रेट्रोफिट कन्वर्जन आज बहुत ही अच्छे लेवल पे पॉपुलर हो चुका है इंडिया में। 3 व्हीलर का अभी हमने रेडी किया है, 4 व्हीलर का ऑलरेडी डेवलप हो चुका है, तो उसके अप्रूवल प्रोसेसेस अभी नेक्स्ट स्टेज पे जा रहे हैं। तो ये सब जो चीजें, इवन बाइसिकल से लेके कार तक के रेट्रोफिट कन्वर्जन किट, लेकिन आज जो ज्यादा पॉपुलर है वो 2 व्हीलर के एंड 3 व्हीलर के। एक कार जब हम लोग यूज करते हैं तो उसमें अराउंड 30 किलोवाट का बैटरी पैक, 25 किलोवाट का बैटरी पैक हम लोग यूज करते हैं। कार से जो पोल्यूशन होने वाला है उसके कंपेरेटिवली 1 किलोवाट के बैटरी पैक्स यूज करके हम लोग आज 25 टू 30 टू व्हीलर्स को कन्वर्ट कर सकते हैं। 25 टू 30 टू व्हीलर जब कन्वर्ट होता है तो 25 टू व्हीलर से होने वाला पोल्यूशन एंड एक कार से होने वाला पोल्यूशन, इसमें डिफरेंस आ जाता है। तो आज के स्टेज में हम लोग छोटी-छोटी चीजों के ऊपर काम करके प्रैक्टिकली सॉल्यूशन दे सकते हैं। इंडस्ट्री जब अभी डिसेंट्रलाइज हो रही है क्योंकि टेक्नोलॉजी एडवांसमेंट मिल गया। जब ऐसी इंजन बनाने के लिए नंबर ऑफ कंपोनेंट्स, टेक्नोलॉजीज, बड़ा सेटअप, इन्वेस्टमेंट्स, जब एक मोटर मिल जाता है तो ये सब चीजें हट गई। और एक मोटर मिलने से अभी इजी हो गया है कि छोटे मैन्युफैक्चरर्स भी काम कर सकते हैं, माइक्रो एंड स्मॉल लेवल पे भी ये इंडस्ट्री जा सकती है। तो डिसेंट्रलाइजेशन अभी होगा, तो नंबर ऑफ एम्प्लॉयमेंट, जो अपॉर्चुनिटीज है छोटे छोटे प्लेयर्स के लिए, वो बहुत बढ़ चुकी है इस इंडस्ट्री में। और उसके ऊपर हमने काम करना शुरू किया, तो सबको हम लोग ऑनलाइन ट्रेनिंग्स दे रहे हैं। जैसे कोविड के पीरियड में जितना काम हम पहले नहीं करते थे, इस समय में घर पे से बैठ के हमें काम करने का मौका मिला। कंटिन्यूअसली वेबिनार्स लेके ऑल ओवर इंडिया फ्री ट्रेनिंग्स, यूट्यूब पे लाइव सेशंस, फेसबुक पे लाइव सेशंस, ये अलग अलग चीजों से जो नॉलेज, जो एक्सपीरियंस, जो एक्सपर्टाइज पिछले 10 साल से हमें मिली है या मौका मिला है, वो सबके साथ अगर शेयर हो जाता है सब, क्योंकि इंडस्ट्री जब पूरा चेंज हो रहा है, ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्री नेक्स्ट 20 इयर्स में पूरा कन्वर्ट हो रहा है इलेक्ट्रिक में, तो कन्वर्ट होते समय ये एक कंपनी या कुछ कंपनियां नहीं कर सकती, या गवर्नमेंट एक के लेवल से ये नहीं हो सकता। हम हर एक को इंडिविजुअल रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी को समझ के इसमें पार्टिसिपेशन करना होगा, तभी जाके ये रिवोल्यूशन हो सकता है। जो आज के डेट में सबका सपना है कि मेक इन इंडिया ही होना चाहिए और 100% मेक इन इंडिया प्रोडक्ट्स ही ग्लोबली रीच होने चाहिए, तो उसके लिए मेक इन इंडिया होने के लिए आज सिर्फ बड़ी कंपनियां जन एम्प्लॉयमेंट ना देख के हम लोग माइक्रो लेवल पे कितना एम्प्लॉयमेंट क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, वो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है। और उसके लिए अभी जो हमने प्रोग्राम शुरुआत की है, तो जैसे बाइसिकल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग यूनिट्स, तो मैन्युफैक्चरिंग के यूनिट्स के ट्रेनिंग्स, उसके इक्विपमेंट्स एंड उनके लिए मार्केट अवेलेबिलिटी, जैसे आज gogo7.com जो हमारा वेबसाइट है, ऑनलाइन सेल्स हम लोग करते हैं, तो ऑनलाइन में आज कंपोनेंट सप्लाई में इंडिया में नंबर 1 पे है। तो उसके ऊपर प्लेटफॉर्म उनको अवेलेबल करके दे। आपका पैशन अगर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग है, आप मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कीजिए, सेल्स हम करेंगे। आपका अगर पैशन है सेल्स एंड ट्रेडिंग, तो आप सेल्स एंड ट्रेडिंग कीजिए, मैन्युफैक्चरिंग हम लोग करके देंगे। अगर आपका पैशन है ट्रेनिंग में, तो आज जितने नंबर ऑफ व्हीकल्स इलेक्ट्रिक में आ रहे हैं या कन्वर्ट हो रहे हैं, तो जो ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर है, ऑर्गेनाइज सेक्टर अपने डीलर्स तक या फिर फैक्ट्री स्टाफ तक टेक्नोलॉजी पहुंचा सकते हैं, या उसका रिपेयरिंग सर्विसेज पहुंचा सकते हैं। लेकिन इंडिया में अगर हम देखेंगे तो जितना डीलर्स नेटवर्क है, उससे भी ज्यादा गैरेजेस एंड जो सर्विस प्रोवाइडर्स है, वो नंबर में ज्यादा है। तो उन लोगों तक ये अवेयरनेस पहुंचना जरूरी है, उसका टेक्नोलॉजी पहुंचना जरूरी है, रिपेयरिंग के लिए सर्विसेज हर जगह पे होना जरूरी है। उसके साथ में पब्लिक में अवेयरनेस आना जरूरी है कि आज के डेट में जब व्हीकल हम लोग परचेस करते हैं, तो नई इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल महंगा जाता है, ये एक बेसिक कंसेप्ट लोगों का शुरू होता है। लेकिन इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल जो अगर हम लोग एज ए पेट्रोल व्हीकल या फिर फ्यूल व्हीकल कंपेयर करेंगे, तो 25 to 30% कॉस्ट में ही वो होता है, क्योंकि हम लोग वन टाइम कॉस्ट कवर करते हैं। आज हम लोग एक गाड़ी परचेस करते हैं, तो कंपनी हमें गाड़ी देती है, उसका फ्यूल नहीं देती है। लेकिन पिछले 5 साल से अगर आप व्हीकल यूज कर रहे हैं और आपने कितना फ्यूल बर्न किया, ये कैलकुलेट करेंगे, तो एवरी टू व्हीलर इज बर्निंग मोर देन 400 लीटर्स अ ईयर, हाईएस्ट एवरेज देने वाला टू व्हीलर। मतलब 400 लीटर जब हम बर्न करते हैं, तो पोल्यूशन कितना क्रिएट कर रहे हैं। एंड जो पैसा हम लोग स्पेंड करते हैं, आज 85% फ्यूल इंडिया में हमें इंपोर्ट करना पड़ता है। तो एक व्हीकल, एक टू व्हीलर यूज करना भी हम रिस्पॉन्सिबल है ज्यादा से ज्यादा पैसा देश के बाहर भेजने के लिए। तो ये चीज हम अगर इंडिविजुअली डिसाइड करते हैं और अपने छोटे छोटे व्हीकल से शुरुआत करते हैं, जैसे इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर डेवलप हो जाएगा, टेक्नोलॉजीज अपग्रेड हो जाएगी, सपोर्टिंग इंडस्ट्रीज इंक्रीज होगी, तो ऑटोमेटिकली सभी इंडस्ट्री चेंज होने ही वाली है। लेकिन आज जो सिंपल टास्क है, आज जो इजी टास्क है, आज जो इजीली सब इंप्लीमेंट कर सकते हैं, ऐसे टास्क पे हम लोग प्रायोरिटी पे लेके अगर आगे जाते हैं, तो वो कन्वर्जन करके या फिर नए छोटे छोटे व्हीकल्स लॉन्च करके एज पर नीड, नीड को आइडेंटिफाई करके अगर हम लोग सॉल्यूशंस प्रोवाइड करते हैं, तो बहुत बड़ा सेक्टर है एंड बहुत सारी अपॉर्चुनिटीज है। उसके लिए बहुत बड़ा इन्वेस्टमेंट चाहिए या फिर बहुत बड़ा वेंचर कैपिटल चाहिए, जरूरी नहीं है। विदाउट इन्वेस्टमेंट भी इस इंडस्ट्री में काम कर सकते हैं, या फिर बहुत कम इन्वेस्टमेंट में भी काम कर सकते हैं। सिर्फ काम करने की इच्छा होनी चाहिए। उसके लिए गोगो ग्रुप सपोर्ट करने के लिए रेडी, एजुकेशन में, टेक्नोलॉजी ट्रांसफर में। आप किसी को भी अगर मैन्युफैक्चरिंग में इंटरेस्ट है, तो उनको सेटअप हम लोग करवा के दे सकते हैं, टू व्हीलर में, थ्री व्हीलर में, इवन फोर व्हीलर तक का। रेट्रोफिट में जिनको इंटरेस्ट है, कन्वर्जन में जिनको इंटरेस्ट है, तो उनको बाइसिकल से लेके कार तक के सभी कन्वर्जन किट्स हमने डेवलप करके रखे हैं। अगर किसी को एजुकेशन में इंटरेस्ट है, क्योंकि एजुकेशन सिस्टम के साथ में आज नंबर ऑफ इंजीनियर्स मार्केट में है, लेकिन इंडस्ट्री उनको एक्सेप्ट नहीं कर रही। तो जो एकेडमी है एंड इंडस्ट्री के बीच में जो गैप क्रिएट हुआ है, उस गैप को कवर करने का काम आज गोगो फाउंडेशन कर रहा है। और उसके अंडर उनको हैंड्स ऑन ट्रेनिंग हम लोग देके उनको इनेबल्ड कर सकते हैं, ताकि वो बड़े ऑर्गेनाइजेशन भी प्लेसमेंट मिल सके, वो खुद का बिजनेस भी स्टार्ट कर सके, या फिर उनको कॉन्फिडेंस वो बिल्ड हो जाता है जब हैंड्स ऑन ट्रेनिंग करते हैं। तो ये बहुत बड़ी अपॉर्चुनिटी इसमें क्रिएट हो चुकी है। जहां पे आज बहुत सेक्टर में, जैसे एग्रीकल्चर में भी देखें तो लेबर प्रॉब्लम है, प्रोडक्शन कॉस्ट हायर साइड जाता है, तो वहां पे भी स्पेस का लिमिटेशन नहीं है, तो सोलर चार्जिंग स्टेशन डाल सकते हैं। उसके लिए गवर्नमेंट का बहुत अच्छा सपोर्ट मिल रहा है। उसके साथ में छोटे छोटे इक्विपमेंट्स बना सकते हैं, सिंपली, बहुत ही सिंपल वे में, जिसका कॉस्टिंग भी बहुत कम है, यूज भी बहुत कम है, जहाँ पे सबको सपोर्टिव ये चीजें हो रही है। इवन जो वेंडर्स है, वेजिटेबल वेंडर्स है, देन फ्रूट वाले हैं, छोटी पानीपुरी की गाड़ी है, पाव भाजी की गाड़ी, ये छोटे छोटे व्हीकल्स भी इलेक्ट्रिकली एंड सोलर ऑपरेटेड हो सकते हैं। तो ये बिजनेस अगर इसमें हम लोग देखेंगे, तो मेन स्ट्रीम इंडस्ट्री से भी बहुत बड़ा बिजनेस इसमें हो सकता है। इसको मैं इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल इंडस्ट्री कहने के बजाय मैं हमेशा इलेक्ट्रिक इंडस्ट्री कहता हूँ, क्योंकि जहाँ पे टेक्नोलॉजी एडवांसमेंट की वजह से इतना बड़ा रिवोल्यूशन हो रहा है। जैसे ऑटोमेशन आ गया, तो वहां पे भी मोटर्स एंड कंट्रोलर यूज हो, रोबोटिक्स में भी मोटर्स एंड कंट्रोलर्स यूज हो रहा है। आज हर जगह पे डिलीवरीज भी ड्रोन्स के थ्रू हो रहे हैं, उस पे भी मोटर कंट्रोलर यूज हो रहा है। मशीनरीज में मोटर्स एंड कंट्रोलर्स चेंज हो रहे हैं। इंडक्शन मोटर का रिप्लेसमेंट अभी बीएलडीसी एंड पीएमएसएम मोटर्स के साथ में हो रहा है हर जगह पे। तो एफिशिएंसी, टेक्नोलॉजी एडवांसमेंट एंड आज मैन्युफैक्चरिंग प्रोसेसेस जो अभी इंडिया में भी एस्टेब्लिश होना शुरू हो चुके हैं। पिछले 10 साल में हमें भी मौका मिला, जिस जिस कंट्री में आज इंडस्ट्री एस्टेब्लिश है, वहां पे भी हमने खुद का मैन्युफैक्चरिंग सेटअप करके देन वहां से डोमेस्टिक मार्केट में हैंडल किया, वहां से एक्सपोर्ट भी कर रहे हैं। तो टेक्नोलॉजीज को प्राइस कंट्रोल कैसे करना है, लार्ज स्केल मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कैसे करना है एंड रूट लेवल पे वर्क कैसे करना है, इसका जो एक्सपीरियंस एंड एक्सपर्टाइज जो आज हमारे पास आ चुका है, वो सबके साथ हम शेयर करने के लिए रेडी है, सबको सपोर्ट करने के लिए। लेट्स ग्रो टुगेदर, क्योंकि नॉलेज तो बांटने से ही बढ़ता है। अगर अपने अकेले के पास रहेगा तो उसका कोई वैल्यू में क्रिएशन नहीं होगा। एंड अभी जमाना भी बदल चुका है कि अभी जितने नंबर ऑफ पीपल्स इसमें आएंगे तभी ये जो सपना है सबका वो अचीव हो पाएगा, मेक इन इंडिया का भी एंड इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल में इनिशिएटिव लेने का भी। तो ये राइट टाइम है, परफेक्ट टाइम है, क्योंकि अभी तक का जो टाइम था 2010 से 20 तक का, ये अवेयरनेस टाइम था। 2020 टू 25 जो है ये इस्टेब्लिशमेंट टाइम है, एंड आफ्टर 25 एक्चुअली बिजनेस इस इंडस्ट्री में होना शुरू होगा। तब सब विनर रहेंगे, तब अगर एंट्री करते हैं तो कॉम्पिटिटिव मार्केट में एंट्री करेंगे। लेकिन अगर अभी ये परफेक्ट टाइम है, 2020 टू 25 के बीच में इलेक्ट्रिक व्हीकल के अंदर काम करके जो नॉलेज गेन होगा, जो एक्सपर्टाइज आएगी, जो एक्सपीरियंस आएगा, वही एक्सपीरियंस जब एग्जैक्टली मार्केट रेडी हो रहा है तो उस समय वो अर्निंग में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा। सबसे खास बात इस इंडस्ट्री की ये लगती है मुझे, और इसीलिए मेरी सबसे फेवरेट इंडस्ट्री है, क्योंकि बहुत सारे काम हम लोग करते हैं खुद को पैसा कमाने के लिए, ग्रो करने के लिए, लेकिन बहुत सारे इंडस्ट्रीज में उसके जो बाय प्रोडक्ट्स होते हैं वो कहीं ना कहीं पॉजिटिव नहीं होते। लेकिन ये एक ही इंडस्ट्री मुझे ऐसी दिखती है कि यहाँ पे आप सेल्फिश बन जाइए, आप जितना पैसा इस इंडस्ट्री से कमाएंगे, जितने ग्रो होंगे, जितनी बड़ी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन क्रिएट करेंगे, जितने नंबर ऑफ व्हीकल बेचेंगे, तो उतना नेचर के लिए बेनिफिट होगा। मतलब नेचर के इंटरेस्ट में ये इंडस्ट्री है। आप जितने भी सेल्फिश बनेंगे तो उतना आपको इलेक्ट्रिकली यूज करेंगे तो फ्यूल का इंपोर्ट कम होगा। तो नेशनल इंटरेस्ट में इंडस्ट्री है। इंडस्ट्री इंटरेस्ट में क्यों है? क्योंकि ये इंडस्ट्री जब छोटे छोटे लेवल पे अपॉर्चुनिटीज क्रिएट करके दे रही है, क्योंकि जब कन्वर्जन होता है या ट्रांसफॉर्म होती है इंडस्ट्री तो बेसिक से स्ट्रक्चर चेंज होता है, तो वहां पे अपॉर्चुनिटीज बहुत क्रिएट होती है। तो एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी देने की ताकत इस इंडस्ट्री में है, एंड सोसाइटी के लिए एक क्लीन एनवायरनमेंट हम लोग दे रहे हैं। मतलब सबसे खास बात इस इंडस्ट्री की है, आप सेल्फिश बन जाओ, आप पैसा कमाओ, आप ग्रो हो जाओ, उसकी वजह से नेचर के लिए सपोर्ट हो रहा है, देश के लिए सपोर्ट हो रहा है, इंडस्ट्री के लिए सपोर्ट हो रहा है, सोसाइटी के लिए सपोर्ट हो रहा है। थैंक यू वेरी मच। मैं इतना ही बोलना चाहूंगा।
Thank you. So nice to see the explanation and very nice to see the progress. Now I have Venkat. He is from UK. He was a Bombayite, but for last more than 20 years he's UK. He is a mesmerizing man. When he talks, everybody just gets mesmerized. Okay, that is Venkat. And he has done very good work in Birmingham. He is also running a foundation for India Birmingham, mentoring students for entrepreneurship and many more things his foundation does. And he is highly wedded to electrical vehicles. And he will be complementing many things which you are doing. His priority is recharging by some unique technology, globally unique technology he has got. And plus he intends to do manufacturing and supporting, and because there's a field in which we require many more. And I'm sure Venkat will mesmerize you with his various aspects of the scene. Venkat, 15 minutes with you.
Thank you, Dr. Shekhar, for having me here. And Ranga has very well covered on the bus segment, and Shinde has covered absolutely on multiple application of electric vehicles. So I will not go into that. So I will try and see what is the backbone of success of EV, which is nothing but charging. Charging is a big area where we need to really, if people can get the buses on road, but if you don't have a good charging infrastructure, then we are not reaching the milestone which we wanted. Now, few of them are there, like as we have said that EV, we've got a national reincarnation, absolutely very right, but they are not free from bottleneck and challenges. Now, few points which are there, like from policy and also from the coordination point of view, requires a now a tremendous serious rethink from the COVID perspective point of view. So I will try to focus a bit on what happens post-COVID, and charging infrastructure, as everybody knows, is a backbone of EV success. Now EV charging company, and we have got infrastructure company there, and we have got a vehicle manufacturer. All of them should be in sync from consumer perspective. So that is very, very important, which today we don't have it. Everybody's talking on a standalone basis, and I don't think standalone will help. Everybody needs to come together and try to come out as a complete solution provider. Second is a location optimization for EV charging network, and we have got necessary standardization, consolidation of various technologies which are coming in the charging field areas. Like we have got a wire charging, we have got pantograph charging, we have got a wireless charging. So a lot of things are coming in. Another important area now where the consumers are not coming forward is the range anxiety. They all feel that what happens if I get stranded when I'm driving? So we need to really address that situation also because of increased charging time which today one takes. Now, because of the large or longer time we take, we try to give an immediate solution to it by bringing a large battery size. So large battery with the long-term charging is not a solution. We have got a long way to go when it comes to innovation on the battery side. We have got many, many innovative ideas which are likely to come into the battery area, which will remove many, many bottlenecks on long waiting time for charging. We are ourselves, Rerise is a group where we are trying to get a complete solution of EV, where we have a manufacturing capability in India to manufacture buses, and we try to integrate the wireless charging onto the whole system. And that's how we are trying to see that the whole package is given to the country so that everything falls in place there. Now, important issue is that when the large battery has to be reduced, there is bit of a challenge. There's a lack of direction on ownership, installations, maintenance of standardized EV charging stations. So EV charging companies needs to come, vehicle manufacturer, everybody has to come together. Private owners are right now very, very slow onto these areas. They expect the government to come out with this kind of infrastructures, but they feel that it's not viable to have a charging. But yes, there is, with the proper government supports, we can really build and operate the whole and maintain and everything and run. The private people can run the battery charging system or overall wireless charging systems at the different route levels. Now, COVID has all these challenges were already there, and we were trying to address to those challenges, but suddenly the COVID has come in, and it has nothing but it has just added some more challenges to the way we do it, the way we charge it, or way we perform the whole operations. So this is a brief on your question was, what could COVID-19 affect the EV? Now the question is, what are the things one need to do now for EV? Now, the important thing is that the charge for all kinds of vehicle should be there about everywhere. The charging should be available everywhere, like in the city curbs, on the parking side, or just across the house. Everywhere you should have the charging system in place, which will remove many of the issues which COVID has brought in today. Now, and then along with that, we have to encourage the ideas and innovations on keeping those consequences and the challenges which are faced by COVID-19. So we can get new ideas, new innovations. Government can come with big R&D competition challenges and get our millennials jointly with the university to present many solutions for post-COVID challenges and come out with some brilliant products and make the vehicle manufacturers to adapt, or infrastructure companies or charging companies to adapt those things and make it easy, make it secure and safe. So these are the importance, and automation in the charging is very, very important. And then, social distancing there, and then we get to get the, like, multiple times we are going to touch the wire charging. How are you going to handle those issues? So there are many things. No doubt, one good thing which COVID positively has taught a lesson is that CO2 emission has come down everywhere. People are having a very quality life, and this is an absolutely fabulous concept which has come up, which is further encouraging all the EV people to come together and come out as a consensus and come out with an idea of making a new society with a new acceptance of these technologies. And Ranga and both Shinde would agree that it is a time for everybody to come together rather than and looking at the whole challenges individually. Now we've got highway routes, we have got big highway routes. How do we tackle those challenges? How do the public sector can come together? How the government can support? So there are many things. And as far as possible, like, manual intervention should be reduced to the maximum level. We have to have a minimal transmission. Wireless charging is one of the area where we could get a minimum manual intervention, where the vehicle comes there, underground charging system, it gets charged. The vehicle driver need not come out of the whole thing. He can everything see on the dashboard. What is the system of charging? Social distancing gets followed, and all those of challenges, all those of concerns which people follow or fear about it gets away with it. So to some extent, we can have it in the share mobility sector. We can have it in the private ownership. We can have it on two-wheelers, three-wheeler segments, and we can have a small 3 kilowatt, 22 kilowatt system-based charging systems. We can put it underground everywhere at many places, so that wherever three-wheelers are on a waiting period, they can easily get charged and they can move on with it. So this is a perfect treatment. I'm not saying only wireless, but there are many ways to handle things, and wireless is one of them. It's called inductive charging. It's a complex challenge. It's a complex technology, and especially when it comes to heavy vehicles like buses and like the trucks, we have to have a bigger kilowatt system. We have a grid infrastructure challenges available. We have to see how the grid takes these challenges of 200, 300 kilowatt system. Everybody is making claim for 350 kilowatt system, 200 kilowatt system. Is our grid ready to take those challenges? If everybody goes for overnight charging because of on the charging level 1, level 2, it takes 3 hours, 4 hours of charging. How do we handle this? If everybody goes for overnight charging, will the grid goes closer to collapse? So we need to address that area also. So there are many things, but it is a very, very challenging area, and everybody is excited to get into this. As you said, that electric vehicle has been from 1900 various times. They were all at that point of time were ahead of time, and today we can definitely say we are not ahead of time, but we are there. Right today, the need is there, and we have to tackle that. Earlier, electric vehicles came and went off, and I would say, I just remind Ranga that Italy was very, very active in 2002, 1900, or 1993, 94. They had many electric buses running across on those areas. So they were very, very early adapter of electric buses. But then it did not take off because probably human nature, we are not ready to accept that fast developing technology. Are we ready, or is it a reality? Many questions were asked, but those myths, everything has been taken off, and we are very much there to take this forward. Government has got good policies, and there could be a better policies now to come through because of the post-COVID situation, and I hope all of them coming together is the only way where we could get this revolution. Now, we have got on R&D, we do a lot of work. We are very closely working with University of Birmingham here, and we are trying to even work on how do we get into some kind of a hybrid system where we don't work purely on battery, but let us have some kind of a hybrid system in place, and see whether capacitors, ultra capacitors can be merged with the battery so that it can take the charging at a very, very fast speed, and see how the transition can happen to the battery from ultra capacitor to charge. So there are many people are working on this. Teslas are working on ultra capacitors very, very heavily. That is the only better solution where we could swiftly get it charged, and we could use it the way today the fuel system is working. Like we go there, get charged, and then the vehicle should move. Unless this particular bottleneck is not looked into, there are many innovations and results are going to come out. We ourselves are very actively trying to integrate wireless charging, only because wireless charging is based on power density. It's a fast charging, and only problem happens is we have a bottleneck at the battery side. So how do we tackle? So can we put a capacitor there? Big question. Capacitor has got a great discharge at the same speed in which it charges. So charging and discharging doesn't help. Can it hold back? So we need to do some technology, innovation, research, everything. So all these activities together needs to go hand in hand, and then try to reach out to the solution. I think I end my talk on this. I think I have reasonably covered beautifully everything, and I think Ranga, Shinde, or myself should come together, and I think that would be the spectacular point for success of EVWay.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah. See, the oddest thing which all of you should know is our friend Venkat is a chartered accountant. I don't know how a chartered accountant knows so much of capacitor.
I have spent quite a lot of time onto this, and I didn't go much onto technical side, but yes, I am well equipped to enter into the whole area.
Good. Our own Shinde is, of course, a full-fledged engineer.
Yes.
So he's a master of whatever he's doing or saying. So now let me come to the second and final phase of our discussion. Whatever I was introduced, and all of you know that I work on a concept called secured governance, where we say there is major hubs, mini hubs, and nano hubs. And from our secured governance perspective, each and every vehicle is a nano hub. Because in the system of secured governance, whatever is a self-sustained economy is the hubs. Big hubs, smart cities, very big. Medium, a small conglomerate of a large hospital complex or large set of buildings, a large set of industry. They are mini. Nano is individual. Even a signboard is a nano, and vehicle is a nano hub, especially when it is electrical, because now it is becoming a self-sustained economy. No more it is just keep on draining yourself thin, and the vehicle is like a smoker. He not only spoils his health, he spoils his relatives' health, he spoils his friends' health, and he spoils the society health. Same thing vehicle was doing. Vehicle was like a smoker, okay, which is not part of whatever we call as secured governance. In secured governance, self-sustaining, it is a blowing up economy. It just needs to be supported from all sides. So electric vehicles comes as a nano hub in my secured governance concept, and which will in secured governance thing is it'll never fail. Other advantage of secured governance is never fail. Like whatever Shinde has told, that even if right from Bajiwala to a tractor fellow in agriculture to somebody who's distributing something, everybody can take care. That once he was discussing that even in this COVID situation, he will find a cycle which will create electricity, and it's again it's not really running. But the person is doing exercise at home, a person is generating electricity, and then they can self-sustain economy. That means by doing exercise, he is generating money for himself, some portion. Okay. So same way, we cannot see electric vehicles as only per se electric vehicle, something going on the road and we are replacing. But the replacing portion is very, very important today, because India's economy, the amount of money which we are going to save by the imports is going to be tremendous. And the whole world. And we are taking money, just like I gave the example of smoker, and then blowing it up, polluting our own atmosphere, polluting ourselves, destroying our health, whatever way we are, I mean, it's a question of how we understand, because in terms of lifespan, our lifespans are increasing like anything. But in terms of health, it could be far better. So with that purview, COVID has come as of course, nobody can on any account say COVID has come as a blessing, because COVID has come as a devastating. COVID has come as a thing which is psychologically, morally, everything it is bad. And the funny thing is, COVID is like whatever I say as World War III. Every world war comes with something different when the world war ends. Every progress has been after World War. And even in prehistoric days, every war which was fought during those days gave rise to something new to the society. So COVID exit or COVID saturation is going to give that type of a thing. And electric vehicles is going to be one of the fields which is going to have the maximum benefit. Benefit is again, I would not like to use the word for COVID, anything beneficial. It's one of the output of this world war. So with that purview, our last segment, if Ranga can start and see in what all ways, what all precautions we have to take, what all ways we have to see that, we don't make any mistakes, because again, something like COVID may attack after maybe 80 years, 100 years, maybe none of us are at the time there also. So that we make the maximum positive use, like we all rightly say that, yes, we should combine and work. Same thing, what are things which electric vehicles can be planned, can be configured, can be, because you are all in the international forum. Like most of you have never been in India for the last 20 years, very, very little in India. So you have, but at the same time, you are all Indians by heart. Everyone, we want to do. At the same time, we don't want to do any injustice to a country where we have stayed for many years. So Indians are born with that particular mindset. We do not go somewhere and try to say either here or there. We are just like a girl married to a different family. So she think good of both. So you are all like our Indian girls going and getting married to those countries. So we want something good to happen to those countries. We don't want to drain them of anything. At the same time, something good should come, because you all are aware the 32 million Indians bring $85 billion every year to India. And they are today 1/3 of India's economy. Almost $1 trillion is by the NRIs and PO population. So with that purview, if Ranga can start the final phase, and maybe about 5 minutes would be good for all of us.
Shekharji, and I think thanks a lot for other panelists, Venkat and Shindeji. It was a great experience also for me to understand few things. I will answer your first question, maybe one small, permit me to do a small word in Tamil. Okay, because சென்றிடுவீர் எட்டு திக்கும் கலை செல்வங்கள் யாவும் கொணர்ந்து இங்கு சேர்ப்பீர். So, you know Tamil also, because other people, you know. See, what we are doing as a NRI and then living in abroad, we are trying to get the Kalai Chelvam, that is the art, the Bharatiyar mentioned about the art. But for me, any knowledge gained and anything gained, that is we are bringing into our country. And today, the cluster creation has to be done not to get any shocks of supply chain. I don't mention about any country. I don't want to mention about any country supply chain. This can happen to anybody in the world. So the self-reliance on the manufacturing of electrical vehicles is very much. I would like to mention also the two other words. See, the hybrid is going to come much earlier than the electrical, full electric. And the hybrid is purely the circular economy. The circular economy, when we speak, the agricultural waste, we are going to produce our own biogas. We are going to produce our own biomethane. Okay, this is the going to come, because I already tested my vehicle in Europe. That hybrid vehicle is already running 2 buses in Hungary. It is 50% only the cost of battery we have put it, and 50% is a biomethane, liquefied biomethane, because you know that is what government is going to come out in a very big way. The second point is charging and then battery swapping, because you know that is what he was telling. So these 2 points will be taken care. And the third one is to create a ecosystem in India, also the financial structure in India to get tri-party agreement like London London bus management. I know that there is a model going on, there is going to be a London bus management. So these 3 portions to be focused much, and we need to make more than 90% locally for global. This is what is going to be my view. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yeah, that is actually enlightening. And Shindeji, आप क्या बोलना चाहेंगे? अभी फ्यूचर में क्या प्रिपरेशन एंड कैसा ये सब चीज जो भी हम लोग सिनर्जी कि हम लोग ये मीटिंग में बोल सकते हैं, जो बाहर आते हैं, आप तो बहुत लोग से काम करते हैं, आप इंडिया में काम करते हैं, आपके पास मैं खुद देखा हूँ कि फॉरेनर्स आके सीखते हैं, वो भी वीडियो में सिखा रहे हैं, तो ये सब में कैसा करेंगे? आपका नेक्स्ट 5 ईयर प्लान क्या हो सकता है, 2 ईयर प्लान क्या हो सकते हैं? इसमें फंड की बहुत जरूरत है, इसमें मैन पावर ट्रेनिंग की बहुत जरूरत है, और ये सब लाइफ का बहुत है. मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ डेथ्स इवन नाउ इज रोड एक्सीडेंट्स, नॉट कोविड. Even I find it embarrassing that the number of deaths have come down because accidents have come down. COVID has never increased even 1%. Even today, the number of deaths by COVID is hardly 0.2%, natural number of deaths. Whereas if you see anything, number of deaths in anything by vehicle traffic is almost 25 to 30%. So it is very sensitive that a new avenue should somewhere there should be that much or bring it down. So ये सब चीज में आपका क्या विचार है? कैसा इनको क्या क्या प्रिकॉशन अभी लेने का जरूरत है? And how do we come back, reinvent ourselves, reincarnate ourselves to a growing economy, which is what is our responsibility. Because whatever we say, the road and traffic is one of the most important segments. Which we have to understand. Just 3 minutes.
फर्स्टली जो चैलेंज है सबसे बड़ा कि आज के डेट में जैसे BS6 इम्प्लीमेंट हुआ है, तो अभी नए जो व्हीकल्स आएंगे तो वो कम पोल्यूशन क्रिएट कर रहे हैं, लेकिन ज्यादा जो व्हीकल जो अभी रोड पे BS2, BS3, BS4 व्हीकल्स हैं, उनके इंजन को पहले रिप्लेस करना बहुत जरूरी है या फिर उसको अल्टरनेटिव क्रिएट करना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि नेक्स्ट 20 ईयर्स में हम लोग जितने व्हीकल्स नहीं बेचेंगे उससे भी ज्यादा व्हीकल्स ऑलरेडी रोड पे है एंड वो ज्यादा पोल्यूशन क्रिएट कर रहे हैं एंड इफिशियंसी भी बहुत कम है। BS6 में ऑलरेडी इफिशियंसी भी इंक्रीज हो चुकी है, तो अभी नए व्हीकल्स आएंगे वो बड़ा चैलेंज नहीं है, जो ऑलरेडी रोड पे रन हो रहे हैं वो व्हीकल्स बड़ा चैलेंज है। सेकंड थिंग, अभी इसमें सेंट्रलाइज मैन्युफैक्चरिंग को डिसेंट्रलाइज करके लोकलाइज एरियाज में लोकलाइज रिक्वायरमेंट को आइडेंटिफाई करके छोटे छोटे क्लस्टर्स बनना बहुत जरूरी है, क्योंकि वहां पे जब एक ग्रुप फॉर्म होगा डिफरेंट पार्ट्स के ऊपर जब लोग काम करेंगे तो वो एक इकोसिस्टम वहां पे लोकलाइज एरिया में क्रिएट होगा एंड उसके लिए अभी जिस तरीके से एग्रोबेस MSME का इंट्रोड्यूस किया है, देन जैसे मीथेन बायोगैस के लिए या फिर आप इथेनॉल के लिए या फिर बायोडीजल के लिए जो प्रोसेसेस किए हैं गवर्नमेंट की तरफ से भी सपोर्ट है, तो ये सब चीजों के ऊपर अगर काम करते हैं तो जो आज की डेट में कोरोना के पीरियड में मेट्रोज में अभी ज्यादा लोग नहीं रहना चाहते, आप वो सिटीज भी डिसेंट्रलाइज हो रही है, अभी लोग थोड़े बाहर निकल रहे हैं, तो वहां पे अगर हम लोग अपॉर्चुनिटी ज्यादा क्लस्टर छोटे छोटे क्लस्टर्स क्रिएट करते हैं एंड लोकल रिक्वायरमेंट्स को फुलफिल करते हैं, क्योंकि ऑटोमोबाइल इंडस्ट्री में ट्रांसपोर्टेशन एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है। आज एक अगर गाड़ी मैन्युफैक्चर्ड होती है तो वहां से दूसरे सिटी में पहुंचने तक का कॉस्ट जो जाता है, तो उस कॉस्ट को भी लोकलाइज मैन्युफैक्चरिंग करके हम लोग कम कर सकते हैं। भले शुरुआत छोटे छोटे प्रोडक्ट्स ही होगी, लेकिन उसमें से स्टेप बाय स्टेप जैसा सबका प्रैक्टिस बढ़ेगा, उनका कैपेबिलिटीज बढ़ेगा एंड जितना कम इन्वेस्टमेंट रहेगा रिस्क कम हो जाएगा, तो लोग ज्यादा से ज्यादा इंटरेस्टेड है। तो ये माइक्रो एंड स्मॉल लेवल पे लेके जाके MSME लेवल पे ज्यादा इसको प्रमोट करना जरूरी है एंड जो बड़े मैन्युफैक्चरर्स है, बड़ी कैपेसिटीज है, तो वो बड़े एक व्हीकल का प्लांट डालने से बड़ा क्लस्टर क्रिएशन में अगर सपोर्ट करते हैं तो इकोसिस्टम बहुत जल्दी एंड बहुत फास्टली ये क्रिएट हो सकेगा। एंड जो एक्चुअली हम लोग एम कर रहे हैं कि मेक इन इंडिया होना चाहिए, एम्प्लॉयबिलिटी इसमें क्रिएट होनी चाहिए एंड प्रैक्टिकली इम्प्लीमेंटेशन होना चाहिए, क्योंकि इसमें जैसे एक एक स्टेप हम लोग आगे बढ़ रहे हैं तो उसमें रिवर्स नहीं आना चाहिए। जैसे अपने एग्जांपल दिया, सर ने एग्जांपल दिया कि 93 में इलेक्ट्रिक बसेस यूरोप में चल रही थी, लेकिन अगेन तो हम इस चीज को स्टेप बाय स्टेप अगर जाते हैं कि एक्चुअल एक एक कदम एंड स्ट्रांगली उठाते हैं, उसका अगर ज्यादा रूट्स हम लोग अगर नीचे तक पेनिट्रेट करते हैं तो वो एक स्ट्रांग प्लेटफॉर्म क्रिएट होगा एंड दैट विल बी अ परफेक्ट सॉल्यूशन। थैंक यू सर।
Now this time at least I would like Venkat to show his CA purview. Now numbers, okay, okay. Now even I have written a book on electric vehicles because the numbers which came to my mind were simply mind blowing. Once you have a system in which the basic skill requirement is 30 million plus, you know, no industry gives that type of a business opportunity ever. Wherever you find something new, you have to struggle it out because existing man will not. Here, everybody wants the existing thing to be removed by electrical. Even the diesel manufacturers want, oh, please give me some technology or my future vehicles can be. It is an open-ended request. Okay. So with that purview, I would like Venkat to enlighten us in terms of some of the numbers which are going to go in Europe, in world, and in India, wherever it is possible. It is not a question and answer session. And how these numbers will come in the economy. In fact, in my own presentation, I also predicted some numbers in terms of, how this will happen. Because only if you put X amount, Y amount will come. Okay. And you being a CA, you know that how even in the national economy and all, if 230 millions are to be changed in India, is there any time limit which you all feel? Because that much business is there for you all, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years, whatever time period. Then at the same time, every year, there's a requirement of at least 15, 20 million vehicles which are coming in. That means that adds up to the replacement vehicle and the new demand which will come. And again, by the time some of the old vehicle will go, suppose I assume that life of a vehicle is 5 years. Every 5 years, the old 5 years, whatever I did 5 years back has to be replaced again. The cycle will be very much there. Whatever little you can enlighten all of us and the audience who are looking at it kindly.
Okay. Okay. Thank you, Dr. Shekhar. I will not get into the statistics. Figures are always misleading, but I will definitely put certain things very, very critical and important. This is the best time for India to get that Make in India concept applicable totally onto EV industry. Why? Because EV is at the nascent stage in most of the countries in the world. Now, important point is everybody has got a very, very limited bowl of funding available in the world to put into the EV. Investors are putting money, but very limited funds are making available for vehicle manufacturers to get into EV. So the challenge becomes what is that none of the European countries or any part of the countries, they are not prepared to travel down to India or any other destinations because they have got limited investment and they have got enough business available locally to get that EV because EV is at the nation stage. So everybody has got a new growing demand. So all the funds, whatever comes there, it gets used there and they are not very keen in coming down. Secondly, most of the Europe, we have got a left-hand drive, except for a couple of countries who use the right hand. So the technology again becomes a challenge from shifting from left to right and right to left. So that also is a big bottleneck when it comes to technology transfer or manufacturer coming on a joint venture basis. So these are a couple of things which happen. So India has got a best opportunity. We have got a best talent. We have got a large population of young people and they should really put their brains down. All the vehicle manufacturers should give a support nicely to encourage these people to put in their brains and try to come out with the new technologies which will generate employment locally, and also we can remain ahead because the demand for vehicles are very, very large in numbers, and that will really help to push our EV segment on to the next scale much faster than what the Europe and Western countries are doing today. So this is a great economic boost opportunity available for India. And I think we should cash in there. Government should also come out with more and more policies. Universities should put in their efforts and try to bring out brilliant technologies, not only on bus as such or charging, but also onto the components. As Shinde mentioned, the components are also the backbone areas which can really generate more and more employment, and we can also get into retrofit. Retrofit has got its own challenges, but yes, with our good brains in India, I think we can really crack this, and I think this is the best place and the best time for India to really gear up our economy to take it to 5 trillion. I think EV will play a major role.
Thank you. My one concluding remark before I put it to Akram. See, in policy times, we are also generating a note for government. So in your own, the thing, if something specific you want to say, please feel free to write also, which will be added in the note. From whatever we have said, yes, we all know that EV will be a torchbearer for the economy. EV will push the economy on to a different dimension because this will be the largest single segment to take the economy. Yes, pharma is there, this is there, because pharma and all play a good role, but they are all, in terms of value, they'll be far less compared to EV. Okay, we had a session on yoga. We found that yoga in US itself is $80 billion. But when it comes to vehicles, it'll always be in terms of totality, it'll be in trillions of dollars. Okay, because the numbers are high, the running expenses are high. It is just like every vehicle is just like putting some 50 human beings together, because they also eat, they also have all sorts of things. They have to be repaired, they have to manage. A doctor, which is a vehicle doctor, has to take care of it. So many of these things may ensure that the vehicle industry will play one of the biggest leading roles. And I would like to thank all three of you for making your presence felt, for giving things which are highly knowledge oriented, and also informing us, giving us confidence that as much as we talk philosophy, there are people on the ground to do it, and people who are exporting from India, people who are doing excellent work abroad, and then wanting to have a collaborative work with India, and making sure that India grows, at the same time the world grows. Akram can take it further.
Yeah, I think there's a question. Yeah, right. Ranga sir, please.
Sir, I just got a question from Argentina. They are asking that how can we collaborate? Okay, I would like to reply to this question. Argentina can make a very important role because they are the largest lithium mines in the world. So please let us work together. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Excellent discussion. I will not repeat what has been discussed, and almost all aspect of the topic has been discussed and covered. But I mean to say that post-COVID, there is definitely a national reincarnation. In fact, not national reincarnation, international reincarnation. Many industries will die. Many industries will emerge. Now, India, as a futuristic economy and country, we need to look up to what are the new industries that are going to emerge, what are the new dynamism that is going to come to run an industry or to take maximum advantage of the rise of that particular industry. Now, how is the global integration or globalization going to change, and what are the new dynamics that is going to play a role? All these aspects that we have to see. So this is a wonderful opportunity for us also to introspect. While we are at home working, we need to introspect, find out better solutions so that India as a nation can take maximum advantage out of it. So viewers, if you're watching us and you like the kind of discussions we do, definitely subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. We will join by you next week again on Tuesday and on Friday. So there are 2 days when we come live with you for this Unleashing India Web Summit series. And do share your views and suggestions. Thank you. Keep watching the Policy Times.
Thank you.
Nice discussion, sir. Thank you.
Thank you. Very nice. It was very, very